everybody, it's Rachel from Rachel is Knitting, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to navigate the project notes section of your project pages on Ravelry. Before I get started, I want to forewarn you that this video does show screen recordings of using the Ravelry platform, so if Ravelry causes harm to you, please go ahead and click out of this video, and I'll see you next time. Alright, here we are on the home page of Ravelry. Today I'll be showing you how to add notes and fully utilize the project notes feature when you're logging project progress on Ravelry. First, hover your mouse over the My Notebook section in your toolbar. Then click on Projects. This will bring you to your library of projects that you have logged on Ravelry. I have quite a few here. You may have more, you may have less. It just depends on what you have personally logged as a project on Ravelry. I'll click on the Alpaca Riptide 135 in my project library as today's example because I know that I do not have any notes on this project. Now, using the notes feature in Ravelry is very helpful because you can be as detailed or as vague as is your preference. If you would like to add a note, for instance, to log the day that you cast on or the day that you hit a different milestone, you can simply click Add Note, this blue turquoisey button here. This will bring up a text box where you can enter any relevant information to your pattern progress, whether that be a milestone you reached in the pattern, maybe you want to note the day that you finished the increases, or maybe you modified the pattern and you want to leave a note to your future self so you remember what you did differently from the pattern for your future reference. I'll go ahead and type finished increases with the assumption that I want to make a note that on June 3rd, I reached that milestone. Now, it's important to note that when you click on the Add a Note button on your project page, just like I did a few seconds ago, the text box will be paired with a pre-populated date. This will be the day's date for whatever day you are physically clicking on that button. But let's say you're retroactively adding these notes, you can change the date very easily to reflect an earlier day. Clicking Save This Note will add it to the project page. If for any reason you want to go back and change what you wrote in that note, all you have to do is click on the note you'd like to change and then add or subtract any relevant information. Here, I'll add that there and save this note. Also, when you click Add Note, with the pre-populated date, you can change the date format if there's a different date format that works for you. By clicking on this calendar on the right-hand side of the date box, you can select the format that works best for your brain. To get out of this window, just click on the calendar again, and you can choose to continue, or if this is a note you no longer need, simply click Cancel and it will take it away from you. Another way to add notes to your project page is by going up to the right-hand side of your project page and clicking Edit Project. This will bring you to a view of your project where there are a lot of fields that you can edit. We're not going to worry about all of them right now. Instead, scroll down to the project notes section of your project page and you'll see the option to edit your notes. There's formatting included in this project notes text box. You can just ignore the notes that you've already had. If you would like to add a separate note that stands outside of the dated notes, just put your cursor above the first dated entry in the text box and add whatever you want to say. Let's just say I'm knitting this for fun. As an example, hit Enter, click Save Changes, and you'll see that that note stands separate from your dated notes. To edit this note, it's different than the dated notes. Clicking on this does not bring you to an edit screen. You'll have to go back into the Edit Project page to be able to edit the standalone note. Another feature that's very handy to know about is the ability to add private notes. After clicking on this, you can add any note that you'd like and it won't be available for public view. Click Save Changes and you'll be able to see the private note, but your friends or other onlookers on Ravelry will not be able to see what you've typed. This is easily identified by the grayed out box that is not present on any other notes except for the dated notes when you hover your mouse over them. Now I'm going to go back to my projects page and show you what an example of a heavily noted project looks like. I'm clicking on my fuzzy purple Lento project page, and as I scroll down, and if you look at the notes, you can see that I take very detailed notes, or at least I'm trying to be better at taking very detailed notes when I'm knitting a project. So for my Lento so far, I have basically the Great American Novel in the works on my progress and what modifications I've made. This is by no means required. There are no rules of what you include or exclude from your note. Of course, be respectful of paid patterns and intellectual property. Don't give anything away to someone who hasn't purchased the pattern, but you can use this as a helpful note to yourself and make the most of it or the least of it, whatever works for you and your brain in your making process. I hope it streamlines your making process and creates less headaches for your future self when you're trying to remember what in the world you did on a certain project. So happy knitting, happy making, and I'll see you later.